Okay. So this is how you see this is ignorance. Because of the ignorance, many people are destroyed.
It's worse with the children, because if children have problems, the doctors don't allow the parents not to do something like this.
Oh yes.
Because they can not do for themselves, but for the child they will not allow. They will force the parents to do some chemicals, or if the child has cancer, they will force the children, the parents to do these treatments. It's very, must be some difficult situation sometimes for the parents.
But today there's a tendency to cut.
Yes, or
very easy.
chemotherapy, these things.
If there is cancer, the only thing is to cut surgery first.
But this is absolute nonsense.
Take away the...
Because when you put a knife, then it will be very, very hastened, very fast.
Because the vital force of it.
You have blow.
Yes.
So as long as you do not interfere with this, even with biopsy, even if it is really cancerous, but you can keep the patient continue with not much suffering for some time, for some years, pretty long than this. Many cases they destroy like this. We have many cases. We tell them, but still they do not believe. They go to the doctor and then they say, oh, just by this operation you will be all right. First they say, if you just remove this, and then they get removed.
And it comes again.
And it comes again once or twice, and then it gets complicated. And then they say, oh, this is due to some other reasons. The patients are, even the educated people are
well,
also
what
like
they
that.
say here is because you waited too long to get the operation, often. They say you have to go every 2 years, get this breast mammography, because then you can get it while it is very, very small. And if you wait until it's a bit bigger, then you get
It's your fault.
Yes, they make the people feel guilty. If
Exactly.
they don't use all these means.
And if you consider the results, the percentage is so low. The good results
Yes.
of this exam.
No,
Very
there's-
low.
there's
Something like less than
But it
10%.
costs
Yeah, yeah.
400 francs, then every woman will spend 400 francs every
Every
2
2
years.
years.
Not every woman, it is paid by the
It
government.
is all profit oriented, the whole system.
When I received the mailing,
Yeah, I don't answer. Sorry.
I answered.
Yeah,
wrote-
once
I wrote-
answered, but they
I
do
wrote
it.
to the chief doctor and I said, I refuse
Yes.
because of this and this and this and that.
So she's, Moi, I said no, but every 2 years they skip
Yes.
sending.
But we have observed this in many women. We have an advantage in India. We have still, in a higher society of people, they are afflicted mentally like this.
Yeah.
But generally in the villages and all these people, they are still very in a good condition of mind. Therefore, we tell them, don't fear. We can keep you in this, and they follow us. And most of them, they have these things, but nothing. But they live a long time without any problem. That is what we could observe in many cases.
Is sulfur also, these tumors, these nodes in the breasts, is also an indication of cancer or of sulfur?
No, sulfur also has one of the indications of this. Because in these cases we can remember sulfur also. There are many other medicines also are there. But and also the tuberculosis of intestines, in the tuberculosis of the intestines, sulfur, indication of sulfur is before the tuberculosis is manifested in intestines. The intestines are the intestines are loose. They are not well healthy. No, generally when we are healthy, the intestines, they have certain they
Stability.
stability.
Mhm.
So they lose this strength and stability, therefore the intestines get loose,
They start sagging.
they start sagging.
Mhm.
That is, and then after some time, then you'll find that
Mhm.
they get this manifestation of tuberculosis in the intestines. So this indication is sulfur. And another very sure indication is sulfur, chronic sulfur patient. Very sure indication that also we get in the constitutional symptoms. That in the morning, whenever the person wakes up from sleep, the person has to rush to toilet directly.
Ah.
That is typical sulfur.
Ah.
Therefore, a chronic sulfur persons, what they do, because they don't know all these things, but by instinct what they do is, suppose when they go to a new place, the first thing what they observe is,
Yes,
where is the toilet
toilet.
and how much distance is from the bed. Yes. This is typical of sulfur.
Mhm.
Is this for urination or for
No, for toilet, for stool.
No, no,
Yes.
that's true. Yeah.
That is what Kent says in sulfur. The stool drives the person from bed into toilet. Soon after waking up from sleep, that's the first thing they have to rush.
No constipation.
No constipation.
Many suffer the opposite, no?
Mhm. There, in certain cases, some cases there is constipation, but they're
Yeah.
different in sulfur also.
Mm.
But mostly it is this.
Mm.
Scanning. Yes, you need not have all these symptoms
No.
to be sulfur.
But this is one of the majority of people.
If
of
it is there,
chronic sulfur. If this is there, typically this surely it is indication of sulfur. Then you can have other symptoms, but this is typical indication. And also tuberculosis in bones. That is also there in sulfur also. In some cases,
is cancer, bone cancer is tuberculosis or something else?
cancer is one expression of tuberculosis.
One expression.
Yeah. And then paralyzation of the parts of the body is also there in the sulfur remedy. And many types of distortions of circulation of blood like hypertension, hypotension. In some people it is hypertension, in some people it is lower blood pressure. These discrepancies are also created by sulfur,
This is constantly changing.
changing, sometimes high, sometimes low.
That means when the same person is exposed, that's the indication. So-
Periodically,
Sometimes high,
Alternation.
sometimes low.
Himmelhoch
Imbalance.
Nacht sind zu Tode bedrückt.
Mm.
it is ill balance. And many types, and also regarding heart, there will be a weakness of the heart muscles, weakness of heart muscles, and functioning of the heart is also disturbed by
Hart also.
heart, weakness of the muscles of the heart, and due to this, when the muscles of the heart are weakened, then there is no proper pumping of the blood.
What? Yes. Where? Excuse me. You can continue.
Yeah. But in the cases of persons who have congenital heart problems, because some persons by birth they have problems with the heart, especially with the valves of the heart. In those cases we must be very careful in administering sulfur. Then it is dangerous. We must be very sure and very careful. Otherwise, sulfur if you administer, then the person may die.
So if a patient has been operated for valve, it's better not to give sulfur.
Especially if he has from birth, if he has problem.
But sometimes you don't know it is from birth. Unless if it is very slight, it will come with time.
Yeah, in such cases you must be very sure.
Careful.
You must be careful, very sure in administering sulfur. Sulfur, and also another remedies which should not be given is silesia should never be given.
Which one?
Silesia,
Silesian.
very dangerous.
For the heart, you mean?
And the heart problems are there, especially with the valves.
Stocks also.
Stocks also, but in the valvular problems, when there are problems with the valve, then silesia and hepar sulfur also should not be given. Silesia and hepar sulfur should never be given in that condition. Very dangerous.
And that's why it's better not to give silesia 6D to older people sometimes.
Yes, in older people.
Because of this.
Even tissue salts also.
Tissue salts for if they have some weakness of the heart.
Weakness the heart.
Yes.
Silesia should be very careful.
It's the only one, silesia is
In tissue salts, yes.
tissue salts. Calcarea floor?
Calcarea floor also in some old people. But silesia must be very careful. And also in silesia should not be given when there are any implantations in the body. Because
it will expel.
it will expel. If they have pacemaker, for example, or if they have some rod or something
some
in the
knives,
bone.
Knives in the bones.
In the bones.
Many people have
or
Silicone.
silicea.
La bistouri naturelle, homéopathique.
and also in some cases if the valve is replaced by some plastic valves, so anything, silesia if you give, it will,
You can just throw it out.
it will yes, throw it out and dangerous. It's very dangerous.
Silicea.
Very powerful. Even the sushla salt is also powerful.
Really? Yes. Yes, I had silesia in India and it has the ugly bones. It has make very, and master said it's wonderful. This Schulzer salt, they can do wonderful work. it does even low dilation. It cleans the.
I can tell you that once when I was in the dispensary, there was they brought a little girl, about 5-6 years girl, and then we were examining what is the case, what is the problem. Then they told me that this girl, she got some fever, and then they have taken this to some allopathic doctor. So he has given an injection, and the injection needle, it broke and it went deeper, and he could not remove it. Then he has taken her
To the
hospital, the surgeon operated and wanted to take away, operated, and by that time it has gone deep and it is not able to be located where it is.
They are really cranks.
And then they made a radiography, and then they found that it has gone, because he has given injection in the buttocks. So it has gone into the joint, the ball is there. So
To the
into
hip
this ball, into this ball, in middle to this, in the hip,
The bone?
hip, In the hip you have the ball.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yes,
It
the
has
femur,
gone
yeah.
into this middle of this.
No,
Between the
yeah.
two bones,
Yeah.
in the articulation.
Yes.
Ah,
And then
practical.
once again the surgeon said, now we have to make a major operation because we have to open all this, and then they were afraid. Luckily they were afraid. And then they inquired, somebody told them, you go to homeopathy doctor, and then they came to us. And I was there in the dispensary. And I was thinking for some time, and then luckily I thought first, because it's so simple, so I have given Silesia 3x. It's Sushla salt, Silesia 3x. Twice a day, once in the morning, once in the evening, for 1 week. And I told them, don't show her to anybody, just use this, come back after 1 week. So after they came back 1 week, and there's a big boil formed
Ah,
outside.
why 3x, not 6?
I thought 3x is enough.
It's enough. Mm.
I felt like that, and they have given
Ah.
a boil formed. And they said, our girl has a big boil now. I said, you are very lucky. You will see the needle will come out. Needle will come out, yes, don't worry, you will see. And I have given once again I repeated the same dose. After 4 or 5 days they came back. With the pus the needle came out. Huh?
Long way.
It came out, the needle came out, with the pus.
This expels.
Expelled it.
Yes.
And after that, after 3-4 days, all the pus is
And
drained.
he told
then
Mr. Needle to the surgeon.
I told them, go to this fellow, show this fellow, idiot fellow,
Yeah.
to show what has happened. And they went to this surgeon and said, said, what happened? Said, needle came out. He said, it is absurd. I said, you see this? No, you are foolish. And then they said, yes, you can make an X-ray and find it. He made radiography, no needle is there. And they explained that we went to the homeopathy doctor, he has given, it came out with a boil. Then he kept silent.
Finished.
Silicea.
Only Silesia, tissue salt in 3x.
Yes, and
25.
this was 25 rupees in total.
Yes.
It not 25,000 rupees.
Yes.
But it's
25,000, and also
The risk.
how much painful risk.
Mm.
How much
Yes.
for the girl,
Yeah.
yes.
Because when they asked him, can you assure after this, I said, no, we make the operation, then we cannot save.
No.
So
Oh, no, they can give
then
no
he
guarantee.
afterwards he may amputate the
Yeah.
leg also. Yeah.
Sure.
So Silesia is, then I was also surprised, because I just felt that why should we make very intense treatment, perhaps with this. The cause is very simple.
Mm.
So I did this, and afterwards I told my father was not there. He went to Europe or somewhere. He was not there. After he came, I told him. He said, "Yes, very good. What you have done is very good." He said,
Yeah. It's much more easier to heal as the people think.
"Yes,
Because if there is not any thought on profit, this stop it.
yes,
Because the doctors, we know today, every fifth doctor is a criminal. They even make very heavy operations only for money,
Profit,
what
yes.
is not necessary. These are studies what they did in the World Health Organization in the UN. So every fifth doctor is a criminal. This we
Yes,
know on the
yes.
global scale.
yes."
So now, if
Same
you
for
are
the dentist.
you are lucky, yeah, yes, you are
Same.
lucky when you find one of the 4 other ones.
Mhm.
So it is like this.
Every fifth means 20%?
Yes.
Mhm.
No, still 80%.
Maybe
are
more
good.
than 20%.
And they say in the States are still more.
More, yeah.
Yeah, yes, yes.
More.
I think they just don't
Half.
are ignorant.
They just
it's
don't.
not that they are
not
criminals.
criminals. They're just ignorant. That's all.
No, it's business. It's big
It's
business.
business.
First,
Behind
how
the-
much can
they-
we make out of...
It's
And they are in the
business.
system, and everybody's doing the same.
No, no,
and,
no.
But they're
But
criminals.
this alone is a criminal. If
I
as a doctor has not to copy.
The health department.
Yes.
saying that in my practice, many people who are getting operated, are operated twice within 3 weeks. And this is another kind of business. And I said to the political people, I send a mail, I send a
Canton de
file.
Vaud, Canton de Vaud.
Oui, Canton de Vaud.
À Pierre-Yves Maillard,
Ah, Pierre-Yves
mon
Maillard.
ex-collègue.
Yeah. Because it's really impossible to work like that.
They operate twice the same person?
Operating twice the same person within 3 weeks.
So,
Why operate
They
twice?
find the
Because
reason.
they didn't reach to the point in the first operation. They made a mistake.
They have to repair the mistake.
They had to repair the mistake, and the person had to. Many persons in all Switzerland. I have patients in different places in Switzerland, and in different cantons, in Zurich, for example, in Bern, in Neuchâtel. And I said, this is really strange. How can you explain this? Please inquire.
Yeah, because there's no responsibility. People
No.
see only business.
It is
For them,
business.
It is big business, yeah.
Big
because we
business.
say every doctor in the allopathic world has his private cemetery. And this is true, because
And
they
a
kill a
fri-
lot of people.
And a friend of mine who is a doctor
Yeah.
has been operated like that
Oh.
for the hip.
Oh,
Yeah, twice.
then maybe.
But he didn't say anything. He was ignorant about his own situation.
Yeah.
That's incredible. A vet doctor.
yeah.
Yes.
So, in sulfur, there are also many types of cases of insanity.
Insanity.
Insanity also.
Mhm.
Oui, il est très sincère. C'est vrai.
So now we are going to study about the constitution, a deeper study of the constitution. How is the constitution of a sulfur patient? That we are,
The constitution
the
of a
constitution of a sulfur patient. So first, the outward appearance. That means first, when we see any person, first we see the outward appearance. The skin is the outermost. So the skin, as I told you, always, very frequently, they feel some itching sensation, and it's called formication, as if some ants or something,
running.
they are running and biting. So therefore,
Ah.
he has a tendency to scratch. This you find in sulfur person constitutionally.
And there is something, or it's only impression?
There is something means, yes, there is some manifestation, but it is sensation to scratch,
scratch.
itching sensation. And the skin of the sulfur person naturally it appears dirty, as I told you earlier.
Yeah, dirty.
It is a dirty appearance. So it will give an oily appearance, even though he cleans generally sulfur person do not have proper inclination to clean. That also we will study. For a sulfur person, by nature in sulfur, he has no inclination to clean.
Ah.
So that is also there. But even if you make him clean, very short time again it makes the same appearance.
Ah, yeah.
An unclean, dirty appearance. This is one of the constitutional indication of sulfur.
Also the house and the...
That is another thing. First of all, the body,
About the skin. Yeah.
about the skin. So it is not any answer, it is not any eruption. Eruption is different. But without any eruption, without any ulceration, the skin always will have an itching sensation.
Ah.
So it is instinctive for sulfur person, and you don't find anything, but very very frequently he has a tendency to somewhere else to do that.
I'm feeling
Scratch.
The ants are Very good.
It is like formication. It is called formication.
Fornication.
Sensation of some ants
Inside.
crawling on the skin. It's formication. The sensation.
Yeah.
So, even when there is no, that is what you find with the sulfur, chronic sulfur patient. Absolutely, even when there is nothing, and even when there is no itching also, he has the tendency, if he is not doing something, if he is generally, he has a tendency to, without anything, to scratch. Suppose he is thinking of something.
Ah, yes.
Like this you can observe. It is tendency to scratch. That is what you find. When there is itching, it is true that you feel like scratching. But without even itching also, the sulfur patient has the tendency to keep scratching.
He keeps training for future.
And he feels very. The other thing is that is sulfur. You have other remedies also where they have itching and this, but sulfur. Suppose he is thinking about some problem, and when he scratches, and then he feels, now I got it, like this. So this is he feels comfortable by scratching even without any itching. He feels comfortable.
He feels mentally comfortable.
Yes,
or
mentally. Then this is mental.
Mentally.
Physically, if there is nothing, but this is a feeling. So he feels, if he is
Feeling good.
feeling good, yeah, yes. That is typical of sulfur. That is why sulfur is the top remedy for psoric miasm. Because psora is an itching from internal to external in all the levels. It is an itching. So he feels very contented, comfortable when he scratches. So he doesn't mind. It's automatic. Even
Automatic.
when he is among the people, generally, if you have an itching tendency, you will not do it for other people. Suppose. But for sulfur person, he cannot resist, it is automatic. Wherever he is, in whichever situation he is, he can make this.
Napoleon.
Mais je pense qu'il y a mal
The
estomac,
feeling of
Napoléon.
burning also.
Burning also is the sulfur. And other thing is, when he starts scratching in sulfur, when he starts scratching, he feels more and more to scratch because he feels more comfortable, then scratches more comfortable. So it becomes
So
an
never
endless.
stops.
I scratched sometimes until I got blood. I scratched so much.
And that is so he feels what Kent has explained, Master has more clearly explained is his scratching is a romantic scratching. This is
A romantic.
romantic scratching. This is the expression what Master has clearly given.
Romantic.
This is romantic scratching.
Romantic
So
scratching?
romantic scratching means
Yes.
when you
Tu sens bien.
when you have a romantic idea, you have
Because you feel
such a
good.
feeling. He gets such feeling while scratching.
Like he's in love. Like.
That
I
is
have to try.
that is typical of sulfur.
Romantic
Will they
scratching.
try to scratch the beloved one?
Please scratch me.
Or they want to be scratched?
Because you have the tendency to scratch.
But is it what Master said, voluptuous itching?
Yes,
It's,
yes,
it's
volu-
a bit
yes,
on the
voluptuous
voluptuous itching.
voluptuous itching
Yes, on the physical
and
plane.
the physical plane.
Voluptuous
Voluptuous
itching.
itching.
Uh-huh.
And that's
And
a
it was
romantic.
wirklich a romantic scratch. On the mental planes.
Mm.